Welcome to the Elite Podcast, where we discuss business, family, and life. Now, welcome to your hosts, Mr. H. Rod himself, Henry Rodriguez, and Ryan Arditi, the SCV MVP.
All right, podcast world, as your favorite insurance guy, Henry Rodriguez, and I'm with my co-host,
Ryan Arditi, the SCV MVP.
and we are live shooting the Elite Podcast episode 5.
Wow.
Good
Episode
times.
5.
Good times, dude.
I can't believe it. Time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Diddy, I just heard that you're kind of a former has-been athlete. You played football?
Well, I do go to the gym, try to stay in shape. Yeah, I was Wes Welker before Wes Welker.
Before Wes Welker.
They called me Ryan, our slot receiver, right there.
Talk to me a little bit about that, man. Does this person play football? What are you, 5'4"?
Well, on a good day, I'm 5'8". All of you out there, 5'8" right there.
It's the lies for me. You are not 5'8". But okay, we'll go with it.
You know what I love about sports? I think you can attest to this. A lot of you meet good people through sports. So
Yeah,
I started in high
absolutely.
school, and I actually decided to play junior college at LA Valley.
Whoa.
Yep. LA Valley.
You played football in college at 5'4"?
Now,
What,
I played
water boy?
I did break my ankle the first week, but I technically did play. I did play. So, yeah, I was Wes Welker before Wes Welker.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, so high school athlete that went to some college football.
I did a little bit of college football. That did not work, and somehow I found myself doing graphic design.
Okay.
Yeah, so
You,
that's how
you've mentioned that in prior episodes.
I'm a designer.
You are a designer.
I'm a football player, a designer, and now a realtor.
Let's switch gears a little bit, man. This June gloom. What is going on?
Man, I don't even
It's
know what
never ending.
Does the sun come out anymore in
Right?
California?
I don't know. Why do we even live in sunny SoCal now?
I don't even know. I saw umbrellas were still for sale at
At
Macy's.
Vallarta and at the 99-cent store? Because they're not selling?
I don't know. I heard the sun might come out in the next couple weeks, so we'll see. But honestly, would you rather have June gloom compared to 110-degree weather?
Right now, I might take the 110, man.
All right.
I'm missing some sun.
Yeah.
That's why we live in SoCal.
Well, look at me. I'm pretty
You're a little,
Blanco right
You
now.
could use a little sun right now, dude.
Except on the nose.
All right, man. I did want to share with everybody my current read, and it's probably going to be one of my favorite books that I've ever read. My man, David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Dude, this thing is fire. I was up late, like I normally am, up late, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get into a quick 5 pages. I was into it. I'm like 30 pages later, I was reading 45 minutes into it. I'm like, man, this stuff is it's just a game changer. Mindset, resilience, overcoming obstacles. I know my boy The Voice is also a huge David Goggins fan. Voice, let's hear you one more time.
Oh, what's going on, guys? Happy to be back.
Hi, voice.
What do you think about David Goggins, man?
Well, out there in St. Louis, what were we in there in March?
Yep.
March, we were out in St. Louis and got to see David Goggins live. Something I will definitely look back on and know, like, that guy changed my life.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. He talks about in the book about how we are a society where mediocrity is often the standard. Is that crazy?
I have a question, though. What
Yeah.
does he exactly do, right?
What doesn't this guy do?
But I know he
Ultra
was in the-
marathon runner, former Navy SEAL. I mean, Voice, what else? Help me out with this.
I mean, he's done a little bit of anything, but I mean, he is ultimately a student of himself.
Yes.
Okay.
And he is trying to get to the next level. I shouldn't even
Always.
say that. Yeah. He's going to his own level.
Yeah.
It's not even a next level.
He basically has said, and when we were watching him live, that when you think you've had enough, let's say you're running whatever, you're trying to get to 10 miles. When you think like you're exhausted, you're only 40% done.
I've seen some
Is that
videos. of
crazy?
this guy. Yeah, no, I've seen some videos. He's amazing. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what he does, but I guess he's the brand. It's him. He's selling himself.
He's
right?
selling himself.
Yeah.
He's held like some crazy world records in terms of pull-ups and running marathons.
did see that.
The guy
I
is
did see
just,
that.
he's basically a Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Stay hard.
Yes, stay hard. So if you don't know who David Goggins is, make sure you read up on him and especially get the book. It's a game changer, I assure you. That being said, dude, we're halfway through this year already.
It's crazy.
6 months into it.
I got a question
Man,
for you, though.
Ask.
What is going on with all this insurance? I'm hearing things here. I'm hearing things there.
Lot-
Can get a little bit of clarity on really what's going on?
It's unfortunately the insurance industry has been turned upside down. My best advice that I can give right now for our consumers, my current clients, is talk to your insurance agents. If you are lucky enough to get your homeowner's policy renewed, talk to your insurance agent. It's probably best that even if you had a small increase, stay with that company because it is dicey out there.
So as a real estate agent, obviously we need insurance to sell houses. We probably should talk to you right away.
Right away.
Not wait till the end.
Before you congratulate your client about going in escrow, it's, hey, we are in escrow. Let's find insurance on this home because we want to make sure we close escrow.
Things are changing every day, so
Yes.
that's something that I think we definitely need to be aware of for sure.
Early and often about insurance. It's a critical component to any escrow. Most real estate professionals don't know how critical it is, but I'm always here to help.
Do you think this is a short term, long term, or do
I
you
would
really
like
know?
to believe it is going to be a short-term thing, and it's at the highest levels of the state. So I think we're going to come through, and it'll be okay at the end of the day. But right now we have some struggles.
Okay,
So,
well, let's see what happens.
all right. But I'm super excited about our next
I'm
guest.
pumped up.
The dude's a local celebrity.
I know, probably
Yes.
the biggest celebrity we've had on the podcast to date.
I agree. All right, let's bring him out. Daniel Otto, executive chef and owner of the Old Town Junction, my favorite restaurant in Santa Clarita. Yeah?
Thank you.
I mean, my
Thank
office
you.
is right down the street. I've gone there probably every day.
Chef, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Love being here.
Chef, tell us a little about yourself, man. Your upbringing, the family, the restaurant.
Upbringing, my dad, military background, Air Force man for a long time, born and raised in Hawaii. Met my beautiful mom there. He pulled some moves trying to play tennis and met my mom. So did that magic.
What island?
I was going to ask the
Oahu.
same thing. What
Oahu.
island?
Okay.
Oahu.
What's your favorite island in Hawaii?
Probably the Big Island.
Okay.
Yep.
Over like Maui or Kauai or?
I just like I like the vibe. I like the local vibe.
Okay.
They moved around a lot. They moved to Oregon. We moved to Minnesota. We
How'd
moved
you
to
go from
Santa
Hawaii
Clarita.
to Oregon?
To
You
Minnesota.
just
Minnesota.
always got moved around, so it was just kind of normal. And then, planted some good roots over here, made some good friends, and then just kept moving around. And then, that's just how it happened with the family. And then, they're still together.
Yeah.
48 years strong. So
Man.
that's
Kudos to
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
48 years. I like it.
Yeah.
You talked to Pops about what the secret is? To stay married for
Meeting in Hawaii,
48
that's the secret.
years? Yes, dear.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
dear.
exactly right. That's exactly right.
I mean, how do you have to fall in love in Hawaii?
Oh, man,
right? I mean,
yeah.
I think that's a big part of the situation right there.
How often do you guys go back?
We try to go back once a year.
Okay.
I think it's been tough with business.
Sure.
It's not always the easiest thing to travel, but and with family and everything like that.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
that's kind of the goal.
For sure. Let's dive in a little bit about what I like to say the sexiest restaurant in Santa Clarita with all the right vibes.
Thank you.
Tell us how you made your vision come true, because there's very few people that actually have a vision in general, let alone making that dream come true. Talk to us about what kind of mindset you have to be in to make all those things come through.
I think it starts with the hard work. I think putting your foot in the mud. Every day I start my day with a plan from the night before.
Okay.
I think getting that mindset of like, what am I going to accomplish today? Get my list done. Wake up early in the morning, make my coffee, hit all my emails, kind of get that whole thing done, start knocking on my lists and getting accomplished like that. I think that goes with the restaurant. I kind of tell the people, my team, that the same way. I don't want to just waste a day off or waste time. I feel like you just always have to be on your A game.
Man.
You know what I like about that?
Well said.
Any business, you have that type of mindset.
For sure.
Right? Whether it's the restaurant or real estate or insurance.
I agree.
I think any type of business, you have to start with that.
You're a true leader, and I noticed it from the moment I met you, but with your words that you shared just now, you talked about being proactive and planning your day the day before for the next day to assure success. I preach that to my team. It's something that I do pretty much every single night. I jot down the 5 most critical things that I have to get done today, and then there's a laundry list of things that essentially it's a to-do list and then an urgent list is what I have. But I do that every single day as part of my routine. It sounds like you do something very similar.
I do, and I do the same thing even when we're on days off. I just plan ahead. I just, just life goes so fast, and I feel like if you want to be on top, you have to stay on top.
I agree.
How did your chef career begin? Was it a passion? Did you always want to do it? Can you kind of shed a little light on that?
Mom's always cooking at home, having those good homemade meals, and they decided to get into the restaurant business themselves in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
And they opened up a little greasy spoon, and I was always in there playing around, having fun as a young boy, and I was feeling it. And then basically when I graduated high school, I went right to San Francisco. I started in, from the bottom as a dishwasher, at the Holiday Inn, at crazy restaurants, at brick and mortars, and just kept moving around and really being dedicated. That's always kind of what I wanted to do. That was my path.
Yeah.
Gotta have the grind, right?
Always. I like it.
Or be a DJ.
Definitely not being a DJ. I guess you could, if you want to be at the top of your game, right? It's always about the grind.
DJ did.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how you essentially have two roles, right? You're an executive chef on the creative side, the foodie side, right? All the right vibes, but then you're also a business owner. How do you separate the two roles, but then how do they clash, and how do you bring it all together?
It's a lot of hats. Hiring smart, getting the right team with you. You guys understand that. I have two great chefs over there right now. I have a sous chef that I'm molding, also junior sous chef. So like molding them. I have a really good management team with like Shane and Bree. They really pump in there. I got both of my Adams over there. So it's like building that relationship, trusting them also in the kitchen. So it gives me a little bit of opportunity to manage on the ownership side instead of always being in the mud with them. So it's, trusting your team.
He doesn't like being in the mud. What's up with that?
Well, maybe we'll open up the junction in Castaic.
No, but you hit the nail on the head. It's all about your support. It's all about the team. Yeah. Like, I couldn't do what I do without the support that I have at the Rodriguez agency. Yeah. And it sounds like you're in the same path.
Yeah, and you hire smart, and you trust the people that you hire, and you build them. My hands and what I've expected have been on them, so they know what is expected in the routine. So I think it works.
Yeah. Business owner to business owner, what is it like in your industry running a small business in California?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's it's gratifying, and I feel grateful because I love California. I love the sunshine. Other than this month, it's been gnarly, but it's tough. Yeah. Rules keep changing.
Always.
You get the politics jumping in there on always trying to see how to run business when they're not in your business. So it gets a little tough.
You guys have been in operations for now how many years?
We're going on 5 years.
Do you think running a business is getting easier or harder?
I think it's getting harder.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I think it's getting harder.
I got a question. Are you guys looking to expand, not necessarily the junction, but maybe you personally, into other restaurants, or grow maybe another junction or something like that?
I love that you asked that. We're actually in the process of opening another restaurant right now.
Is that an elite podcast exclusive
yeah,
right there?
Are we allowed
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
We took over next door, and it's a 21 and over. We're looking for more of an adult supper club.
Grown and sexy.
Yep.
I know the voice likes that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sidecar Market's what's going to be called. So the front's going to be an artist collective, and it's about a 40-seater. Has its own kitchen. So we are in the process. We're
Very cool.
There might be a DJ.
2 months away.
There might be a DJ at this one. Maybe,
sure.
right?
There may be a role for you there, Diddy.
No, I'm more of a karaoke. They used to call me Judasy, so maybe I can
Here we go. How cool is that?
I think that's awesome.
I know it's going to be unique. I'm sure if it's part of your vision, this is something unique that you guys are bringing to the Santa Clarita Valley.
Yeah, I think it hasn't been tested. We're trying to bring Over the Hill to our vision over here. I love our community, and why not spend the money over here with the people that we love and kind of bring that vibe over here. It's a beautiful restaurant. It's going to be, I think, next level, so it's going to be fun.
One thing I do love about the Junction is the experience. Right?
We talk all about the experience.
You walk in there and it's just a vibe.
You are the ultimate experience, right? I talk about remarkable client experience. Yep. They're all the right vibes, and I would say the ultimate experience when it comes to restaurants.
Thank you.
Yes. What was it like running a restaurant during the pandemic?
Great question.
Oh man, that's a gnarly question. It was hard. It's we're very blessed that we hire over 51 employees right now. Mm-hmm. But during the pandemic, we had to let probably about 45 employees go.
That's crazy.
And we were running it with about 9 people.
Wow.
And just to pivot and learn to adapt and and create a grocery list and create a family meal and create all these different tiers and try to really get the community on board and people on board on why do we need to spend our hard-earned dollar there. And I think we pushed it through where a lot of people kind of like didn't know what to do.
Right.
And I get it. They were tired and they were burnt out. I felt like we really had to, we had to survive. We had to push.
Yeah. That takes some true leadership there, because you weathered the storm and you weathered it relatively well. Yes?
Yeah. Yes.
I think the Junction thrived actually after the initial jolt of, oh my God, what are we doing? But your creativeness, your ingenuity, your willingness to adapt, now you guys are thriving, and probably in terms of the restaurant business in Santa Cruz, one of the most thrivable isn't even a word.
I would say one of the most popular.
Popular for sure.
I'd say it's always crowded. I remember when COVID hit, you moved a lot of stuff outside.
Yes,
right?
we did.
And I even notice now the outside is booming just like the inside.
Yeah.
Right.
We put a whole patio out there. We asked for the city to let us use a permit so we could put a whole deck out there. I mean, we try to use every inch of space that we could.
And that area is growing significantly. So
Yeah.
I have a question. With trends always changing, right? And things always kind of adapting, does that go to also like the menu? Are you guys always looking for new and kind of trendy new foods, new meals? Like, how does that work a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go with the trends.
Like a lot of stuff is plant-based, right? There's a lot of like kind
you
of
have
this-
a lot of animal friendly. You have a lot of plant-based, soy-based. I mean, those trends will always. I think healthy lifestyle is not a trend. I think that's something that people always want.
Mm-hmm.
But I think our biggest factor is hospitality. We don't give service. It's about hospitality. We want
point.
people
Well said.
people to have an amazing experience, consistency. We want to make sure when people go there, they feel warm. It's their second home. So I think that's really the recipe for success,
Yeah.
And if you haven't had an old-fashioned
Oof.
at the Junction...
You just stole my thunder, did he?
Did I? We're thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
With the bacon.
Yeah, with the bacon, the whole the voice.
What's the voice favorite drink at the Junction?
Oh, I'm definitely getting an old fashioned for sure.
I've been trying to convince Chef to change the name of the drink to
my
the
gosh.
H-Rod since the moment I met him. I think I almost have him.
He's close.
He told me to bring my wallet though.
Yes.
I'll pay for an MVP drink.
There you go.
Hey Chef, your favorite dish that you've created or that you like to eat, and then your favorite drink at the Junction.
My favorite dish that I created was the Calbee tacos. I think it's a lot of love.
It's a
Everybody,
staple.
yeah, it's a staple. Never go away. It's the braised short rib. It's the house-made kimchi. It's the serranos, the candy cashews with the togarashi. I mean, the hoisinaki, the sweet chili aioli. I mean, it just hits on all the spots.
I don't know if you guys, but my mouth is watering.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
To me, Kobe.
Yeah.
and I would say another staple that we'll never take off the menu is probably going to be our old fashioned.
Yep.
We're very, very we go OG with the old fashioned. We use the Luxardo. We use a little bit of Luxardo juice. We use the house made beef jerky on there. I mean, I think it's done right. It's a quality bourbon, so it's done well.
Yeah. No,
Very good.
I couldn't agree more.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, that's my poison. It's an old fashioned, and that's my favorite old fashioned at the Junction.
We might be there this weekend. Getting an
we might be
old-fashioned.
there
Maybe
tonight.
I
Maybe
think
tonight. That sounds like a good
Maybe
idea.
tonight, exactly. Switching gears a little bit, Chef. It's my understanding that you also teach at COC.
Yes.
Is that a passion project? What are we doing there? Helping developing younger chefs? What are we doing there?
I was always told to mentor back, and I had the opportunity in 2007 to teach as an adjunct, and I've been teaching as an adjunct there since 2007 to 15, and then I had the opportunity to become full time.
Okay.
So I became full time in 2015, tenured,
Okay.
and it's really about mentoring. It's about giving back.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with anything else. I feel like if people really want to be in this field, I want to give them the pathway to be successful. I mean, it's one of the hardest industries to get into, and I hate seeing like a business turn and burn the product.
Yeah.
And COC is an amazing family in itself. They really want to see people strive.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge.
That's huge.
Why not give back?
For
love
sure.
that.
Yeah. I know The Voice likes giving back also. Not too long ago, he was mentoring at Golden Valley Voice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What were you doing over there?
I was working in a finance class, or spoke at a finance class, and spoke to the kids about what not to do in life. I spoke to the teacher when he had asked me to speak in front of the class. I said, I'm happy to do that for you, but I'm not going to come from a place of pretend. I'm going to come with the real raw stuff. And I mean, I can't believe how easily I opened up to those kids and just poured my heart out to them, because if I could just save a couple of them from making the same mistakes I did and cut that, cut that down for them, where they could go out there and strive and not step in those same potholes. That would just be amazing. I wish they had those kind of opportunities when I was a kid.
For both of you guys, how rewarding is this as part of you guys' jobs?
It's great. I love it. I don't think I'd ever change it. I've put my stamp on thousands of students. I've put out probably over 500 people in industry. The majority of Santa Clarita has a lot of the same cooks that we've put out there from IQ. They've become chefs. They've become and did their own thing. So I think it's really rewarding.
Yeah.
I think when they see you like in that environment, it becomes real to them, right?
Yeah.
And I think that gives them hope, because in a world that's so challenging, they see you doing it. They see you as an owner and an executive, and you're teaching them. I think that's huge for today's youth. Huge.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch gears
We're
again.
lucky to have him, sir. We are lucky.
100%.
Santa Clarita's lucky.
He just certified our
I know.
podcast by
I
being
got
on
chills a
here.
little bit right now. Not gonna lie.
Chef, you also do private parties as well.
Yes.
As part of the business. Talk to us a little bit about that, and then anything you talked about the sidecar as well, but anything else that our community should know about the Junction.
We do a lot of private events. So, I mean, we just did a wedding about 2 weeks ago. Our offsite division's nice. I mean,
You guys
can't
bring
go
the
wrong.
heat. I've
Yes,
been to
we
one of
do.
these parties.
Where's the
Bring
offsite?
the
There's
heat.
an offsite division?
Yep, we have our own director of catering. If you ever call and you're ever curious about doing something at your home or at a facility, we bring it to you. We go anywhere from San Diego, up Pasadena, Huntington Beach, Temecula, Santa Barbara. We go everywhere. I mean, we have clients from everywhere. We've done the Nas kickoff party. We did the Dave Chappelle comeback party.
Wow.
Just throwing names out there.
I
like
didn't even
that. I
know
like
this.
it.
Yeah.
Wow, I like
Nas
it.
and Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nas, the old school like hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's solid, right? I did not know this right
We,
now.
I mean, we
Wow.
we have
Chef's
a few
the real
clients.
deal.
Yeah, we have a
Wow.
few clients that are really big in the hip hop community, and they always give us that love. So we've got to meet a lot of great rappers and people in that kind of field.
We should bring Nas onto the
That's
podcast.
what I was gonna say. Or Chappelle.
Or Chappelle.
Maybe Chappelle.
Either one.
Yeah.
Either one, Chef.
Godson would be
we won't be
good.
picky. Hey, voice. Let's hear from you and maybe give Chef a question from the cards.
All right, you ready for a question?
Okay,
Chef?
let's see.
Okay, I was gonna go with attitude of gratitude for you, but you've already expressed so much of that. I'm gonna pivot a little bit. Share the craziest moment that has ever happened to you.
Ooh. Let's keep it PG.
So we're going
Chef.
PG on this one, huh?
Maybe not ever.
Oh my gosh.
Should we keep it in the work environment? Okay.
Okay, we'll do a work
it
one.
go.
I remember when I was in San Francisco, I was staging, and they asked me to work front of the house for just the night, and I'm not a front of the house person. So I remember opening up a bottle of wine and bringing it out to the guests, and I had a tray, and I had the bottle of wine. I was showing them, and I opened it up, and as I was leaning over, I dropped the whole thing on this poor lady. The wine, the glasses, everything. It was the most embarrassing thing ever. And I was like, I felt just so small inside, but she was the coolest lady. And she's like, don't worry. She's like, you're better in the back anyway, right? And I'm like, 100%.
Red or white? Was it red or white?
Red. It was
Okay,
red.
okay.
That's fantastic. But when you say that you're better in the back, I want to just bring something up to you. Every time I come into the Junction, and I see you working, you always take the time now to come out and shake my hand and say hello.
Always.
And that means a lot to me. Being a kid that grew up from Santa Clarita, knowing the chef, right? No matter who I have at the table with me, it's always so much love to me and my guests. I appreciate that about you.
No, I
Thank
love
you.
that. I love saying hello,
it.
and I think all three of you, you touch tables, you touch people, you touch people's lives, you deal with so many people. You're always on stage, right? I think that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes us successful in our field. I mean, I think if you're behind the curtain and you're not going to go out there and talk to people and interact, it keeps you distant.
Yeah. I love how, and you've said it a few times now during our podcast, but you're reiterating the remarkable client experience.
Yes.
That's part of my MVP, mission, value, purpose. The purpose for the Rodriguez Agency is delivering a remarkable client experience day in and day out. Nothing that we do is sexy, so we try to make it as sexy as possible so that when things happen, when there's a claim, when people have questions, I want to make sure that they're having the best experience ever.
Absolutely.
So,
And no matter what level, you're building a community. The
100%.
fact that he's coming out, and I'll reiterate what the voice said. He said hi to me every single time. I feel the same way. You know.
Chef, my last question for you.
Okay.
So for the folks who have aspirations to one day be a restaurant owner and or an executive chef, essentially following your same footsteps, what's your best advice?
Get as much experience as you can, put your head down. Obviously everyone says shoot for the clouds and, but you have to have the backbone too. I think learn as much as you can. Don't be someone who's learning from a YouTube perspective. Get in there, actually put your work in. And I would say get like 10 years in before you start dropping, all your own money and all your own time into something. Because our success rate's low.
Yeah.
I think every 10 restaurants that open up, only 2 stay afloat.
That's
and you
crazy.
see it. You see it in Santa
Wow.
Clarita.
Wow.
You see all the restaurants that close and then come up and then close, and then it's really hard.
That's a good point. I mean, the Junction's been a staple for some time, and
Yeah.
you do see a lot of restaurants in Santa Clarita kind of up and down.
Yeah.
I'd say the first thing they should do is probably take his class at COC.
For sure,
right?
I think you guys are in the same game. You see realtors come and go, right?
For sure,
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
And don't learn the restaurant business or to become a chef on YouTube. Yes?
Yes, 100.
Or TikTok.
There's just so much in today's society with today's youth. There's just so much YouTube learning. I mean, my kids are glued to YouTube on a daily basis. They're not watching TV. Their new TV is just anything on YouTube.
It's tough.
So it is tough.
It's tough.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chef, much respect. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for
Appreciate
coming
you
onto our
guys.
podcast.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, Podcast Girl.
That was awesome.
Elite Podcast, Episode 5. We're out.
We're officially out.
All right. Your favorite insurance guy, Henry Rodriguez.
And the SCV and VP.
We're out.
Bada bing.